Let's chat. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 2 of we never really came up with a name for this thing. This Challenger ever. The second Challenger approaching ever. We got a few new topics to talk about today. Unfortunately, Hannah could not join us. She is in travel at the moment. I don't really have anything else to say before we just get into the topics.
All right, let's get into the topics.
Yeah. Topic 1. Waluigi and Daisy are two of the Mario franchise's biggest characters not yet in Smash. Daisy is currently a palette swap for Peach and Waluigi as an assist trophy. So how do you rate their chances to strike it big and make the roster this time around? Also, we're discussing Toad 2 in this section, but I didn't know that till later.
Who and who?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
The biggest characters in the... Are they?
They're not even...
Left.
I mean, like... well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah,
we're currently getting into it. We're getting into it right now.
I don't think that they're the... I don't even think they're the top in Mario.
I'm knee deep in whatever it is.
You don't think that those two are the most likely characters from the Mario franchise?
No, I do not, because we don't have Toad yet.
Even though who Princess
is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. He's like hanging out in Peach's dress.
Okay, that worked in Melee. It does not work anymore. He's been playable in like 10 games in the last decade.
Well, the only thing that I'd imagine being playable then is Captain Toad, and I'm not sure how much I personally am in for that.
With Toad, outside of the spin-offs, Toad has been playable in like 2 or 3-ish major games, being Captain Toad, where he's kind of a pacifist. He just sort of like goes around solving puzzles and avoids combat whenever he can. And that's sort of...
He can't jump.
He can't jump.
He won't be able to jump in Smash. He can only fall off of platforms.
His jumps are additional attack buttons, which he doesn't attack, so...
Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have started thinking about this, because I just thought of like him like building structures for him to climb up.
So apparently this segment is not about Waluigi and Daisy. It's in fact Toad.
I like the inclusion of Toad. I think Toad's a good topic to get into. Let's talk about it.
The other big game Toad has been playable in is Super Mario Bros. 2. And I feel like the whole Mario 2 thing is already covered by Peach, because she has like her float and she pulls turnips.
Yeah, and the only thing that Toad does better than anyone else is lift things. And how would you, I mean, really...
Wasn't he in Super Mario 3D World?
Yeah, he is in 3D World and all of the new Super Mario Bros. Games.
Yeah, but he doesn't do anything specific to him in those games. He's just blue or yellow, which I don't distinctly consider abilities.
Blue and yellow are superpowers. Thank you very much.
Just look at Daisy.
He'd also kind of represent Toadsworth and Toadette and a whole bunch of other iconic side characters that are all wrapped under this.
That's what I'm saying. You'd have to dig pretty deep to come up with stuff to do with Toad.
I don't know. I think Thousand Year Door alone could pretty much handle it.
I'm gonna put Toad at my #1 Mario character.
Look, unless he throws himself into enemy attacks and shoots a bunch of spores at opponents for being hit, then...
Toad has one job, which he's terrible at, and that's protect the princess.
But Toad knows what castle Princess Peach is not in.
But do they run
He's the only one that can find
Do
it.
they run the country when Peach is kidnapped?
Yes, that's why it happens so often. They're the ones running it all behind the scenes.
Do they run the country when Peach isn't kidnapped?
Whenever they need to get a law passed, they phone up Bowser and get the princess out of the way for a little bit so they can get shit done.
So are we actually going to talk about Waluigi and Daisy?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, no.
Okay, so should we do Waluigi?
Sure, let's do Waluigi. I think he's pretty damn likely. Assist trophies have a tendency to get a lot of support in the next edition. Like, everybody's like, oh, but I really wanted them to be playable, you know?
To be fair, it's only worked out once.
Well, okay, yes, but Waluigi's kind of an outstanding character in that vein, I think.
I will agree with that.
Waluigi's definitely in my top 10 most likely. He doesn't make my top 10 most wanted, but I think that there's a lot of potential to make him a character where every one of his special moves, and maybe even some of his standard moves, reference one of a different sport game that he's from.
One argument I've heard for Waluigi is, oh, just do it for completion's sake, because they already have like the other 3, and like that's a terrible argument.
Yeah.
But I will say, having him represent the spin-offs,
yeah, all the sports games,
like sports and racing and party games, I think that would be probably the best direction to go with Waluigi.
I need his final smash to be Dance Dance Revolution.
Well, yeah, isn't he the final boss in that game?
No, he's the first
No, he's the first boss.
Oh, okay.
Bowser's still the final
like
boss.
Waluigi Wario and Bowser.
Okay.
Well, now you're
But it's like-
incentive to play that game for me now.
But if you look at that game, that's like the biggest role he's ever had.
Pretty
ever.
much.
Like literally, no fooling.
To be fair, that is probably accurate, but like his side B could be something from like Mario Tennis, his down B could be something from Mario Golf, his up B could be something from
Basketball?
basketball, yeah, strikers or whatever. So
Yeah, he could pull out the whip, the really cool long whip vine thing that he had in Mario Strikers Charge.
Oh,
Does
dude.
Nintendo know who Waluigi is? Because they like he's a nasty creepo, but he's also a pretty boy, and he loves poisonous vines and bombs, and also just looking
Yeah, this is
good.
the thing
You know?
with like a lot of the Mario characters, like even if they don't have much personality, they have like one clearly defined personality trait, except for Waluigi mostly.
Waluigi has 5 defining personality traits.
look, as long as one of his taunts is him posing with a rose, I'm
Yeah.
perfectly happy with
As
that.
long as one of his taunts is him chopping at his crotch, like in Strike. I wanted to comment on his status of being an assist trophy, and I think that he's basically become the mascot of assist trophies at this point.
He has.
Yeah.
Just because like that
Yeah.
one time Sakurai trolled us with like, Waluigi joins the fray, not really, but he's an assist trophy.
As an assist
Yeah.
He's here nonetheless.
And if you were to
Just like-
promote every prominent assist trophy into full playability, then who would be left in there? Like Jeff and Anats.
Nah, no. I'm not gonna tell you that every assist trophy has a great shot. I think it's Waluigi and maybe one or two have a shot.
I
That's
think,
about
well,
it.
I mean, everyone would rather their favorite character be playable, but I don't want the assist trophy roster to suffer because of that. If we every time someone deserves it, we just boot them up, and then there's nothing left for the assist trophies.
Well,
I
that's
think
why you
Waluigi's
make
gonna-
new
that's-
assist
that's-
trophies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's bring more in. More assist
Yeah, I
trophies.
thought of a special move earlier. He pulls out the giant dice from Mario Party, and when he hits it, something random happens, kind of like Judge Game and Watch.
Mr. Gamer,
That's not bad.
That could be good, and that would also sort of like tie into the whole randomness of what Waluigi is in general.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me is I would want that to be his up B, but then it would have to distinctly be for recoverability. Or it could be his up smash, I don't know.
Maybe a down B. Like down Bs are usually pretty weird. Or counter.
The counter, depending on when they hit you is when the dice stops, and that depends on how strong the counter attack
The
is.
enemy has to hit it for it to do anything.
Every new character needs a counter move. Every
Yes.
single one.
I think I'm gonna bet that he's gonna stay an assist trophy just because I think that he has a very good personality for assist trophy status. But
Okay,
my
that's
heart-
also not a bad argument.
My heart really wants him to be playable. I'd love him to be playable, and I think he has earned it. But I'm gonna put him number 2 under Toad under Mario characters.
More likely than I think I'd like him to be, but as long as they find something really interesting and fun to do with him, I think I'd be okay with it.
Look, all he has to do for me to be interested is say wah, and I mean, I would play as him.
I just want him to be funny.
Yeah.
Just want him to be funny. That's
Yeah.
all I want. But what about Daisy? How do we feel about that situation, huh?
Less.
The question
Ah.
is,
See,
who the hell is Daisy?
Daisy is the princess of Sarasaland, and I think this would be a beautiful opportunity for Nintendo to give the Mario Land franchise representation in Smash.
No, but Jay, you asked who is Daisy. She does have a bit of a personality if you pay attention to the spin-offs. Princess Peach is like, oh, I'm Peach, and then Daisy is, oh, I'm Daisy.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's the difference in their personalities.
This is going to be an opportunity for me to vent about something about Daisy that's bothered me, and feel free to stop me if I ramble on too much.
Stop.
But
Go on.
she is the perfect example of an informed personality. She doesn't actually show much personality. We're just told what it is. Like, they
Yeah.
have us-
Yeah.
tomboy, she's spunky, but she doesn't really show it all that much in the actual games.
Fair enough.
Because she needs to be in more games.
Yeah.
Oh
she hasn't
no,
had
Daisy
really
Fanboy
engaged
5 just unsubscribed to us. Oh, come back.
No.
I'll defend you, Daisy Fan 5. Don't worry.
She should be playable in a Mario game first, like a main series. And to be fair, she is now playable in Super Mario Run.
Oh,
Great.
good.
Is she a reskin for Peach?
I actually
Super Mario Run, I think all the characters are exactly the same. aren't
Yeah,
they?
you
No,
tap to jump.
they all have different abilities.
Oh, okay. Well, what's her distinctive ability?
I
'Cause
don't
do-
know. I haven't unlocked her yet because she takes forever to unlock.
I don't know where I would start with Daisy specifically. I would have to like really get my hands dirty into Super Mario Land again.
Okay,
But
so
I
apparently
would want her final smash to be her riding the spaceship from the last stage in the battle against Tatanga, where like you fly around and shoot enemies.
What in the hell?
Okay, so I looked it up, and she has a double jump. That's it.
Great.
Okay. I just don't get that people can be so pissed off at the clones and say, like, why would you give us Lucina and Dark Pit and Dr. Mario their own character slots when they could have easily been alternate costumes? And then in the same breath, just demand we want Daisy.
Okay, well, I don't know who those people are, because I love pretty much all of the clone characters. I play Dr. Mario, I play Dark Pit, I play...
yeah, I like them too, but they're not popular. Anytime the word clone is a curse in the Super Smash Brothers community.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's why you would make her distinctly different from Peach.
I am a proud Pichu man.
I want her to get the Olimar Alf treatment.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I was going to
Upgrade
suggest
from a
that.
costume to a full rename and a revoice and like 4 to 8 costumes, but just tough
I'm
them.
okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
okay
gonna
with
suggest
that
the same.
idea.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Very much.
I mean, at least like if they can at least update the model to just look like her. They don't even
Yeah.
need to do that whole step beyond that. But if they did, that'd be great.
I would not
Love
be
that.
happy with that, but I would begrudgingly accept that.
Oh, because you want her playable.
Yeah,
I see.
I think that Daisy would be a brilliant opportunity, I said it already, to be representation for Super Mario Land, which is a series of it's basically the game that sold the second best after Tetris when the Game Boy launched. So unless you want Tetrad number 3 to be a playable character over Daisy.
I mean, Tetris stage.
T-block?
Got a lot of passion for Daisy. I didn't expect this.
Hang on,
Great.
gang. Let's find out who's behind this mask of Daisy Fan 5. Shane.
Shit. I thought I discontinued that YouTube handle. Nobody go to what is it, Tumblr, or no, daisyfan5.tumblr.com.
In our overall top list of possible newcomers, which at this point is only one item long, and that item is Springman. Where do we want to rank these Mario characters?
Not first.
DLC.
No.
You think DLC? Well, I think that if they added any one of these 3 characters, then I would be all right with that. That would be fine with me.
I think that Daisy is less likely than Waluigi, but I think that Springman is more likely than both of them.
So if we were keeping a hypothetical list, it'd be 1 Springman, 2 Waluigi, 3 Daisy.
I mean, that's a literal list as opposed to a hypothetical one, but yeah.
Oh, and Toad. I'd like him to be above
Okay,
those.
all right, yeah. I actually think that that's not a
Where
bad
would
idea. I
we
think that's pretty
collectively
good.
put
Can Toad be in tier? Is that right?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I would personally put him above Daisy, but underneath Waluigi.
That's hot.
And
You're
we
not
went
wrong.
The Pokemon franchise is well respected in Smash Bros. With a total of 6 playable characters. Is it reasonable to assume that Nintendo may be ready to include even more?
Yes.
Also, what stages or Pokeball assists would you like added to the collection?
Yeah, so each game has added more Pokemon characters, and they're not going to stop that.
No, they'll never stop, ever. But which ones? Which ones you want?
There's 2 that come to mind instantly, one that I would prefer and one that I think's more likely, and that is Decidueye and Incineroar. I would much prefer Decidueye, but I can honestly see them adding Incineroar first.
I think Decidueye is probably more popular.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'd have Incineroar pegged for item Pokeball.
Okay. I just think that Incineroar looks more like he's bipedal. He's got 2 distinct, obvious hands. He's literally a luchador, so it would just be a lot easier to come up with moves for him.
But that's the thing; it's too easy. It's like, oh, he's a pro wrestler, but this guy is like an archer. I guess we have a bunch of archers in Smash too.
Halfway into the trailer for a new Pokemon game, Poplio turns around, the screen gets all dark, and there's a Smash ball.
He bounces it on his nose.
I'll be mad if we get another fire or water type when the grass type is still unfulfilled.
Also, my second, if we discount them, would be Serena.
I don't know about that one.
Wait,
that's your second most likely.
Serena, the female trainer from, was it X and Y?
Yes, it's also a Pokemon, or if you want to pronounce it, Sarina.
Oh, I was thinking
Yeah.
of the human. I was thinking of Ash's
Okay.
friend.
No.
Friend.
The final evolved
Oh,
form
yeah.
of Bounsweet. Yes, it's distinctly known for its kicking abilities, so I could easily see
Uh-huh.
that being used in
But,
Smash.
but Bayonetta's already in the game.
Yeah.
that 5 out of 6 people in this call went, who? What Pokemon? Tells me that
Okay,
it's
well-
probably not the top pick.
Okay, fair enough.
The big question mark for this, for me, in regards to this, is Gen 8, which we know is coming to the Switch. We just don't know when.
So we have like question mark Pokemon from Gen 8 as a possible list.
Yeah, I mean,
Basically-
Greninja happens.
Another option, I don't even know if this is all that likely, but Tapu Koko kind of comes to mind.
Ooh,
as
I
a
can see that as an
potential-
assist.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about
seems
Tapu
fair.
Koko, but I could see them using like Buzzwole or Formosa
Ooh.
Oh my god, Buzzwole! Oh my
No.
god.
We're talking about assist or playable?
as playable.
I can't imagine it, but I want it. I want it badly.
If I were to take one that I kind of want, but I don't think will happen, is Guzma/Golisopod.
Oh, you got to it before I did.
Yeah.
I mean, another one that I really want to be playable, but if anything, I see it as an Pokeball Pokemon, would be Ghost Marowak. Like, I could see a Alolan Marowak, like, jumping from side to side and, like, doing its fire spinning dances, and if it hits you with the bone, like, as it's throwing it around, you would take damage and knockback.
That sounds fun. I like that.
It's not a bad idea. As far as stages go, I'm gonna throw in the Ultra Wormhole. I think
Oh,
that would
yeah.
make for a pretty cool stage. Like have Ultra Beasts flying around and stuff.
Yeah, because I was thinking like just general starting Alola location where it is, but Ultra Wormhole sounds fun.
It also sounds a lot like other Pokemon stages, though. the Palkia and
Oh, yeah,
Dialga
Spear
one.
Oh,
Yeah, it would probably be kind of similar.
I mean, most Pokemon stages generally fall into the same category of plain stage where weird shit randomly happens. So,
Yeah.
And have I got an idea for that? Since the last Super Smash Brothers, we've gotten Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, Detective Pikachu, and Pokemon Tournament or Pokken Tournament twice. Pokken Tournament would be a great stand-in for the whole Stadium 2 thing that they had going for a little bit.
Actually, I love that.
I like
That's
that. The only
great.
issue is that it was developed by Namco.
Yeah.
yeah, I also have Neo City, Dragon's Nest, and Dark Coliseum from Pokken as stages that I would like to see in Smash.
Dude, why not Magic Kart Festival?
I mean,
I forgot to include that on my list of new games that we've gotten in Pokemon since the last Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, Magic
We've
Kart
got
Jump.
Magic Kart Jump.
oh god, yeah.
Pokemon Go also.
Oh yeah, the Pokemon Go stage where you literally have to hold the Joy-Cons and walk as you fight.
No.
What if the Pokemon Go map was just Google Maps?
I like how Pokemon Go got laughed off the stage, but Magic Kart Jump's like, oh yeah, hey, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Pokestops would pop up and you'd have to run up and like smack them with the spinners in the Sonic stage.
And then they stay purple for 5 minutes and you can't do anything.
like a Pokestop jumps up and you hit it and it spits out items or something. Or
Yeah.
it heals you or whatever.
And then after
That's not a bad
we
idea.
just say like 10 seconds and then it would regenerate.
It's
Actually,
gonna
that
be
sounds a
hard to
little fun.
answer since none of us have played it. But is there any prospect for the Detective Pikachu stage?
No.
What is it, Rhyme City?
I want
I
to
don't
say,
even know.
work.
but
It's
Pikachu,
London.
Pikachu
It's
will
London.
definitely have a Detective Pikachu hat.
Yeah, there's just a murder going on in the back of the stage while you're fighting.
Detective Pikachu, it's getting a movie, so it's gonna. It's,
Do you know
it's
how many
something.
innocent Pokemon are gonna faint because of this?
Guys, will you please play that game with me? I need it in my
Oh,
life.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
absolutely intend to.
I was going
Alright.
to suggest one more stage, which is Ether Foundation.
Yes, I also have
alright.
Aether Foundation written on my list.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
have
fun.
Ether Foundation is a nice place, yeah.
Or the Skull Grunt like the mansion thing.
totally.
That would be cool.
Kuzma's throne, the stage.
Oh my god, yes.
I love how they're like secret hideout is just like a rundown apartment.
Yeah. I have one other stage that's on my list that no one else mentioned yet, and that
Mhm.
is the Altar of Sun/Moon.
Isn't that where the Ultra Wormhole opens up?
It's where
Yeah,
like
that's
the
true.
connection between dimensions opens up.
Yeah.
And I
It
think it
might-
would be really cool if you started like at daytime on one side, and as you're fighting, the Ultra Wormhole could open up and the stage would like transform or
Okay.
something, and then you would appear on the other side where it's nighttime, and maybe
And it-
Solgaleo and Lunala could show up depending on which
Yeah.
side you're on to do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one
like
side
that.
focuses on them, one side focuses on the Ultra Beast. That would make sense to me.
Moving on
I
from
was gonna-
stages,
yeah.
I wanted to talk about something that came with the new Sun and Moon games: the Z moves.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
Z moves are powerful finishers that your Pokemon can do once a battle. There are some that are just by type, so that any Pokemon can do them, and then there are some that are specific to one single Pokemon. An interesting thing about them is that they're upgrades to existing moves. And so, because of that, I can say pretty confidently that Pikachu is going to have a new Final Smash this go around.
Yeah.
His previous Final Smash has been Volt Tackle. And now there's an upgrade to Volt Tackle called Catastrophica. I think that's a shoo-in. But then there's another Z move that it could potentially be, and that's the 10 million volt Thunderbolt.
The one where he's wearing Ash's hat.
Yeah, and that's the reason I think it's less likely. One, it's not based on Volt Tackle, so it had to be a completely different move. It couldn't just be a reskin. And then the second is that in the game, it can only be performed by Pikachu in a hat, and that was an event-exclusive Pikachu. So the move is not traditionally available to new players.
Because all the starters have their own special Z move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whichever one goes in, that's going to be their Final Smash. Like if it's Decidueye, it's going to be Sinister Arrow Raid.
Yes. So cool.
But personally, I don't think any other veteran Pokemon are going to get Z moves as Final Smashes. For example, Jigglypuff, I think it can perform up to 14 different types of Z moves, and I'm a big fan of the one that's called Twinkle Tackle. But they're all generic to the type. There's a ton of Pokemon that can do them, and I think we're just going to see that weird inflation move again.
I really hope not.
I don't like it,
Please.
but I think it's set. And then Lucario and Charizard and Mewtwo, if we see them again, they're just going to Mega Evolve again.
That's fair.
I'm fine with that.
Doesn't
Oh.
Mewtwo have its own Z move, or is that only
Yeah,
Mew?
he also
Mew.
has one. Oh, I thought he also had one.
Mew
Mew
has-
Genesis Supernova,
Ooh.
and Mewtwo does not have one.
Ah, dang.
That's too bad.
I was going to
Alright.
suggest one more Pokeball. Mimikyu.
Well, yeah, I think Mimikyu...
We've not discussed one Pokeball yet, so you're throwing
Yeah,
in the
we're
last
not-
one?
Yeah, this is the only Pokeball you're getting. Sorry, it's just Mimikyu.
I'm sorry.
I would like to see Mimikyu have the old Nabbit thing that happened in the Super Mario Land stages, where if you got near it, the ghost hand would come out from underneath and grab the character, and you would see them like getting beaten up inside of the Mimikyu costume until they got like spat out, and that would be the knockback effect.
So while I was looking at this wiki, Mimikyu has a Z move called Let's Snuggle Forever.
Yeah, which is
well, there you
essentially
go.
that.
You know,
It's based on
Snorlax has been rocking that body slam in
Oh,
every
yeah.
single Super Smash Bros. Title to date. But this time around, he's got a Z move that's very similar.
Pulverizing pancake.
Yeah, it'll pulverize
need
when
it, we
his
need it.
eyes glow, and then he flattens his opponent with his girth.
You know what would be really cool if a Pokemon had a Z move and you threw the Pokeball, if there was like a 10% chance that that Pokemon performed the Z move instead of its normal attack.
Ooh.
Oh.
So like
Like,
9 out of
do
10
something.
times a Snorlax would just jump into the sky, but like that 10th time, instead he would like run across the screen and then like jump and cover the whole screen or something.
The first time that would happen, I would legitimately shit myself.
I want Toxapex to be one of those Pokemon that comes in and everybody's just like, "Oh shit!" It's like a problem for everyone, even the person who threw it.
Beware. Beware.
Beware! That'd be great.
Oh,
I would love that.
You can just reskin Meowth and get a Lowland Meowth. And there you go, there's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that
they
could
put
also
them
be
bo-
a
they could put
thing.
them. They could put in both and have them both do exactly the same thing, and I would still think that was
One
pretty cool.
face is left, one face is right. I think a Alolan Raichu is a shoe-in for this one. He's part psychic now, and he surfs on his own tail.
You think they're gonna make an evolution of Pikachu a Pokeball assist?
Yeah, why
I
not?
think now that a Alolan Raichu exists, yeah.
It's different enough, yeah.
All right.
Nebby or bust. That's my last one.
Well, what's Nebby gonna do?
I can imagine Nebby doing one of two things. Either A, doing the same thing that all of the like post-evolution Pokemon do, which is show up and float away.
Yeah.
Or B, turning into, I think Jay may have been saying this, I think I overheard him, turning into either Solgaleo or Lunala, and depending on which one it turns into, it does a thing. But
That's fun.
that also kind of clashes with my idea of having them in the
Yeah,
stage.
you're making me think Stage Hazard now, so I might
Yeah.
put Nebby for Stage
Yeah.
Hazard.
You know what else was very popular was Ice Vulpix was very very popular. I wouldn't doubt that they would include that and give it like powdered snow or something.
Oh yeah, maybe it like, I don't know, shoots ice crystals, and maybe it makes the
Maybe.
ground slippery or something.
Just, ooh, slippery ground. That could be fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be very unfun, but you know.
Back to Brawl.
Well, I'm trying to think of things that Pokemon trophies or Pokemon balls could do that wouldn't be just, okay, they make some fire effect and then damage happens. Like, the Pokemon tend to make some sort of additional effect occur as well, like Gardevoir causes reflection, for example.
You could have traditional Vulpix and Alolan Vulpix come out at the same time, and they
That
have
also
both
be
fire
very
and ice on the screen.
Oh, that'd be
I
cool.
like that.
I'd also like, personally, because I don't think he's popular enough to be a contender for a newcomer, but I think he would make a great Pokeball Pokemon, would be Marshadow.
Also,
Yeah,
it's a Z
that's
move.
not a bad one.
Yes, he also has a Z move.
Yeah, we mentioned the Ultra Beasts earlier.
Mhm.
Yes.
Nihilego for an assist.
That sounds fun.
I just want Nihilego to do the same thing that Metroids do. That's the only problem.
It's also maybe Necrozma if you want like something with a big powerful
Yeah.
attack.
I was gonna recommend that one.
Yeah, I could see Necrozma doing something along the lines of what is it, like Lucario's old Final Smash, where he would just like fly up to the top of the screen and shoot a like large beam downward, and maybe it like at the end spreads out or something in different colors to be the rainbow effect.
One other thing that I wanted to go back to was, I mean, Gamersaps already mentioned it. Guzma. Do we think that he was very, very, very popular? Do we think that he might appear in this game in any capacity?
Maybe not.
The problem is he's the trainer, and after Brawl, we haven't had any form of human from Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm not saying playable. Playable doesn't
I will
seem
say
right to him.
a trophy and his theme.
Yeah, I definitely see him being a trophy, and I definitely imagine his theme song being one of the musics for the stage.
Oh, that's already exciting, isn't it?
So we see like all the Smash fighters fighting, they're having a good time, and then suddenly off in the distance we hear softly but growing, pause, 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 pause. The camera pans up and there he is.
I could see that he could be a stage hazard, possibly an assist trophy. He might be Pokemon's first assist trophy outside of
weird.
Well, would it be that weird? I don't know.
It'd be weird that it'd be Guzma and not like Oak.
I guess, yeah. All right, that's fair. That's fair for it being the first one. I just think it's weird that the Pokemon series we only ever talk about the Pokemon and never the trainers in much capacity.
Well, only because Smash doesn't do that very much. Like, they don't...
Well, okay, yes, fair, but I want them to do more with it. I want to see those characters because they're starting to write them better. They're starting to get real cool.
People still talk about Team Rocket for Smash.
I really don't think the video game sector of Game Freak for Nintendo really likes Jesse and James.
They don't?
Well,
They don't?
There's zero representation outside of Yellow. If they wanted them in the video games, they could very easily be there as cameoable characters.
That's true, but Ash isn't actually in the game.
I mean, he does show up as a picture in the background of the Thrifty Mega Mart as you're looking for the Mimic.
Oh!
What? Excuse me? What? These are things I didn't know.
Allow me to drop the mic and walk away back to my shame hole.
Everyone's got characters they want included in Smash. Some people have lists that can't even be contained to the hundreds. But in the sake of keeping things contained to simple discussion, we'd like to know, what are your top 5 most wanted characters for Super Smash Bros?
Top 100 characters for Super Smash Bros. Got it.
You got it. Let's go.
To be clear, this is most wanted, not most likely.
Yeah.
Correct.
So if you were
Absolutely
to
correct.
unleash the chains and let your mind go wild.
My number 5 is an out there idea, and I know I'm not the first one to have this idea, but I think it's interesting, and I want to at least include it even as the lowest place. So my number 5 most wanted character is Mario and Luigi.
Oh, like from the Superstar games? Like as one unit?
So like different art style, they're a tag team unit, and they're littered with homages to all the Mario RPG game series. If we can have Link and Toon Link, I think we can have Mario, Luigi, and Mario and Luigi.
The only problem I would have with that is that I think Paper Mario would get that sort of treatment before Maruigi.
Well, the Paper Mario games, I think, keep tanking, and now all the Mario and Luigi games are
getting
available on
re-released.
3DS.
That's
sans
fair.
Partners in time. So I think they're more popular and prominent than ever, and I'd really like to see them. It's my top 5, so that's number 5. Number 4, I originally had a big lizard on here, and he's a popular choice, and I do want him, but the rest of my list got lizard heavy, so I replaced it with a monkey.
Don't you worry, I got you covered.
Oh no, you're thinking of a different lizard in this case, I think, and I also have him. But this one lizard I replaced with a monkey, so I have Cranky Kong as my number 4.
Cranky Kong.
Cranky,
right?
not
Dixie, not K.
Funky.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Sure.
Anyway, let's hear him out. Ryu.
Funky Kong is a shoo-in, right?
Super Smash Brothers for the Switch with new funky moves.
Guys, I just lost a bet.
What?
What?
I just lost a bet. Ah, damn it.
What is it that you wouldn't say Cranky Kong?
No.
Funky Kong.
Okay.
The Funky Kong wouldn't come up.
Right. On March 15th at 8:30 p.m., Jay and Ryu placed a bet that if we mentioned a Donkey Kong character, Jay was so sure that someone in the Discord call would suggest Funky Kong should get in first. And I said that was ridiculous. No one's going to say Funky Kong. What are you even talking about?
I wasn't being serious.
I know, but you made me lose the bet anyway.
You said it.
And damn it.
Well,
it's a good
I know what part's not getting cut out.
It's a good thing that just like in CATV Comics, Jay never set up a lose condition for me. So I'm perfectly fine. It just means that Jay didn't lose.
Victory was all that was needed. Anyway, so Cranky Kong. Tell us more.
Well, he's a staple DK character. I think he's been in all the country games and the original arcade game if you want to get super technical. He's funny, and I think that the cane hopping is the most interesting thing that a DK character could bring to the table.
Can his final smash be a lecture?
Yeah, yeah.
Since Cranky Kong is technically the OG DK, maybe throw in some references to like the first Donkey Kong with him throwing barrels and stuff.
Oh, we can bring back that everyone's favorite stage from Brawl. Number 3, here we come. It's Sceptile. His chances have tanked since the Wii U version, and I'll be the first to admit that. But I will be so pissed off if my generation, my Hoenn, is the only one that doesn't get repped with a playable character in any Super Smash Brothers game. My number 2 is the big one. And I know I'm not the only one who have this on my list, so I'll be brief, but Ridley. Ridley.
Yay.
Hooray. For those who say it's impossible, I say dream harder, because Smash is about the impossible becoming possible.
But Ridley's already in the game, though, as a boss.
Yeah. We know and we don't care and we want him playable.
Yeah, I'll let Ark take the big shots of that one, but I'll move on to number 1 now. Now that I've discussed the big one, here comes the little one. My number 1 most wanted remaining Super Smash Brothers 4 Switch newcomer is Chibi Robo.
Yay! Nothing's changed since last time.
I love that little guy. I love him so much. And while Chibi Robo Ziplash was a terrible game, it did give him an amiibo, and it kept him in the public eye. So I'd say that his chances are better than ever.
That's an adorable amiibo, by the way.
I hope we do a fuller discussion on him in a later video, but he did not burn for nothing in my heart. So.
Saps.
All right,
Gamersaps.
I kind of limited myself and only picked one Fire Emblem character.
Yeah, same.
I appreciate it.
I'm really hoping that Saps ends up picking the opposite one from mine. So.
No, I did. I did first, but then I changed my mind and I picked Hector.
Gosh dang it! Oh, Hector. Okay.
He is from Fire Emblem 7. Where he is the only axe-wielding lord in Fire Emblem. Yeah, I don't really have much to add to that. I just want to see a person with an axe or a lance in the game, and Hector would fit the axe category perfectly.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Because I do not know, did he get into Fire Emblem Warriors?
No, he did not. But almost nobody outside of the newer games did.
Which is what I'm thinking for Smash.
Well, we'll get to my list eventually.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say, I'm sure we'll just talk about this more at a later date, but
there will be a Fire Emblem episode eventually.
Pokemon, there is a Fire Emblem game coming out pretty soon. It's supposed to be coming out this year, and we haven't seen anything about it.
All we know is coming out this
Shin
year.
Megami Tensei crossover. Did that ever come out?
Yes.
Are you serious, Ark?
Yes, I'm fully serious.
That came out like 3 years ago.
Well, it left a lasting impression, didn't it?
It's one of my favorite Fire Emblem games.
I'm so happy.
Oh,
it's Fire Emblem Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE.
It's
Hey, Gamersaps, what's number 4?
I got
Number
Falshane
four.
mad.
Number 4 is actually not a new character, but an old one I want to return. Wolf.
Oh.
Oh, what? Okay. Great.
Hey.
I love the hell out of Wolf in Brawl. And
I
was
agree.
so sad to see him not return.
He was the
And-
best. He was my best character.
I would be okay with Wolf coming back if he wasn't like literally the fourth character that played exactly like Star Fox.
Third, and he was more different to Fox than Falco was. So.
Yeah, but like given that they all okay, I know I said I didn't have a problem with clones before, but I don't know.
You don't have a problem with clones that you like, I see.
I think that Wolf is a cool character. I don't have a problem with him being in the game. I would just really like to see him somehow be represented differently, and I honestly don't know how because he only been in like one game.
No.
No, he's been in 3 that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay, well here's where I exposed that I played like 2 Star Fox games. So
Which ones did you play? Star Fox Adventures? Because that would leave a bad taste in my
no,
mouth.
I distinctly avoided that like the plague.
Well, it was Star Fox Command, wasn't it? That
No,
game, that
Falshane.
goddamn game.
I played Star Fox 64 and Star Fox
Look,
Super Nintendo.
Star Fox is a great series. Just don't play any of the games because they're terrible.
Alright, going to my third list, I would like an indie rap, so I'm sticking with Shantae.
Yay!
Yay! I feel like she could be a really interesting character and more options than, for example, Shovel Knight in my opinion. And I feel like she's the easiest to make something out of in Smash.
When it comes to indies, it seems like it always comes down to Shovel Knight or Shantae.
Well,
and
there's
I'm
some
Team
games.
Shantae in that regard.
Banjo-Kazooie.
They are not indie though.
Did I just hear
I know.
somebody screaming and dying in the background?
That's not on my list or anything. No worries.
Number 2, I actually mentioned it during the Pokemon one. Guzma / Golisopod.
Pod.
Yay.
I really want him in, but I don't. I want him. I don't see it happening. But I
No,
really
man,
want
I'm
it.
with you. I'm right with you. We can only hope. We can only hope.
I do really like Golisopod's design.
It's so cool. It's like the new pincer. It's like the new pincer.
Yeah.
Number 1 is a third-party character, Rayman.
Oh.
Ah.
I'm sorry,
know
did you say Rabbids?
I mean, Rayman's been a long time favorite for potential Smash character, hasn't he?
Yeah, and it was even a trophy in the 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we can make a full episode out of Rayman.
Yeah,
at a
the
later
limbless
point.
design is really interesting.
Yeah.
I will say, he's not on my list, but I love me some Sukapon from Joy Mech Fight, who has the same limbless design.
Mhm,
I know that's a super deep cut.
mhm.
In lieu of having that very obscure Famicom game, having another limbless character that's way more popular that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there was a Mario Rabbids game, so Ubisoft has a pretty tight relationship with old
Oh,
Nintendo
yeah.
these days.
Yeah.
I know
Fair.
That's true.
They're tight.
That's true.
I think my list is probably going to have some of the stranger pulls, so I'm going to start with the one that's most likely. I got these 2 as a tie, because I couldn't decide which one I wanted more. They're from the same game, and that's Medusa or Viridi.
I
Now,
guess you're just gonna do my whole list.
I
for
know.
me.
Sorry. I know that Viridi / has already been a outfit. She was a stage hazard in the 3DS game, but God, as her character wasn't so cool, and I can imagine her having a lot of really awesome attacks. And if her final smash wasn't the reset bomb, oh, that would be so awesome. I can imagine her having vine-based attacks, having boulder-based attacks, and her up B could be some sort of gust of air that she just rides upward. So I think all of that would be really cool.
Sort of like a Poison Ivy or Swamp Thing deal.
Sorta, yeah, yeah.
I think Medusa's more likely. But
Yeah, I
do
think
like
that
them
Medusa
both a
would
lot.
definitely be more likely, but my problem with Medusa is that she gets thoroughly upstaged by Hades later in the game. Spoiler. But as cool as Hades is as a character in that game, I don't know how well he would translate into Smash.
Nah, I'm pushing Medusa.
Yeah. Number 4 is a character that I don't think anybody else but me is going to understand or appreciate. But Goemon, I think would be an amazing
Oh,
character for
yeah.
Smash. Goemon from Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. Started on the NES. I had games all the way up to the Nintendo 64. His B could be the Rio throw. His standard attacks could use the cane that he has. He could have a grapple grab because he gets a grappling hook. His final smash could be the Goemon robot, and it would be so cool. This is where I say that Mystical Ninja starring Goemon was one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games as a kid. Now we'll start getting into ones that people will probably more understand, probably / recognize more. I think from Fire Emblem Awakening would be
What? Awakening?
Sure, whatever. From Fire Emblem Valencia Oranges.
Echoes.
Yes,
Wait.
Valencia Oranges would be the most likely.
I have no idea what any of you were talking about.
Okay, so the actual title of the game is Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows over Valencia. But that is a stupid name. And I call the game Fire Emblem Valencia Oranges.
Okay.
So, yes, is arguably the main character next to Celica. They kind of share that position in the game. And don't get me wrong, I could say /Celica because I would love to see Celica as a representative. Maybe she could even be an alt skin, like male-female Robin. But I think their final smashes would have to be different. That's the only thing.
How would you feel if... I don't know who any of these characters are, but how would you feel if the one that you the other name you said was Alm's final smash, like Chrome appears in?
I mean, I guess that would also be pretty cool. Next is Ashley from the WarioWare franchise.
Oh, okay.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah. Exactly. Not only is she already an assist trophy, we don't have any other representatives from the WarioWare franchise, which I think is pretty tragic. Well, I think that there are plenty of really great characters from the WarioWare franchise. My personal favorite is Ashley, so that's the one I would like to get into the game. Finally, I apologize to everybody because I know this is absolutely impossible, but I would literally pay however amount of money you would need to have Kumatora from Mother 3 as a playable character in the game. I don't care what her moveset was. I don't care that it's absolutely impossible, but I have wanted Kumatora in the game for like the past 7 years, and gosh dang it if I won't put her at the top of my gosh dang list
Somebody
right
had to.
That's the pink-haired one with the sweater, right?
Yes.
Yo,
I like her design.
Yeah, she's really cool. She's like a spunky princess type character. She's got
she's a princess, isn't she?
Yeah, and she's
really cool and she's my favorite.
I don't care.
So, you want my list?
Yeah,
I do.
Oh, I do.
I'm scared.
Huh. I could really only think of 4.
that's fine.
That's fair.
That's fine.
So, I'm going to throw my 5th. As my first one is going to be Crom, because me. Moving on.
Wait, so Crom or Woodman?
Wait, I think you mean
Gino?
Skullpin.
Are
Oh,
you talking
yeah.
about the Legend of Zelda character here? We're talking about the guy with the mask.
I want them to
had the
break
move
their
come down?
no transforming character thing, and they just turns from Crom to Woodman to Gino. But that's not gonna happen. So number 4, or number 4. I want Shadow the Hedgehog. The only way I can see him not being a Sonic clone is that they gave him the Solid Snake moveset.
I just don't understand why he's not already an alternate costume for Sonic.
Right,
It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
It's okay, Ark and Jay. Between the three of us, we'll get all the Grimdark characters in the Smash eventually.
Yes, don't worry. You guys you've literally done my whole list.
My third one would be Dixie Kong.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
I
Yeah.
think that would be fun.
Do
Jay.
you really think that Dixie Kong would get in before Funky Kong?
Also, another problem with this plan, Jay, is that I would never let you play as her.
But.
Why?
She would always
It's an
remain
in-joke.
unlocked. She would always remain
Alright,
unlocked.
we won't give him the Dixie Kong.
Not many of you know who this is for my number 2, but Lloyd Irving, who is already kind of.
Oh, we know who he is.
We know who
We
Lloyd
know who
Irving
that
is.
No. That's a
We
big
know,
character. A lot of people support
Just
Lloyd
smiling
Irving for
about that.
Smash.
It's good.
Yeah.
No, because I remember growing up, Lloyd was just a really big character, man. I really kind of looked up to him. So the fact he was
Aw.
even just a costume, I was like,
I think it'd be really cool
one step
if, like,
further.
if his final smash was similar to Shulk's and like 2 or 3 other characters jumped in and did like one of the combo attacks. That'd be really cool.
My number 1 is Roy. because I don't think he's gonna make it. And I want him to. I think he was DLC. I think it was like a teaser DLC, and I don't want that. But there's so many Fire Emblem characters. They'd be like, well, they had fun with Roy. Just yoink him away again. I say no.
Yeah, I think you're justified in putting him on your list because he is not safe.
Yeah.
It's folks like Jay that make me feel bad for even discussing characters that could get cut. You know?
Well, in the CATV planning room. So, boys, we're talking about who's going to get cut. Jay, what were your favorite characters again?
I'll leave the room for this one.
Yeah, that's my precious little list.
So we got Wander and Ark left.
Wander, you're up.
Do you want? Oh, you're going last. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going last. I need a little time, sir.
All right. So this one was tough for me because like my top 3 or so were pretty easy, but like there were 3 I wanted for the rest. It was hard to cut one. So the one I cut was Dixie. I'm sorry, girl.
I got her.
Yeah, you got me on that.
Yeah, I got you, man.
So yeah, my number 5 is instead going to be Crystal. Even though I know the time has long passed for this, I just really want a Star Fox character who isn't a clone of Fox.
Same, but not
Andros.
same.
Go with Andros.
Andros is a playable. Wait, he's gonna walk around.
Over Crystal, I do. Yeah.
After she wasn't in Brawl, that was kind of it for her.
Yeah, I don't. I unfortunately think that Star Fox Adventures left such a bad taste in Nintendo's mouth that they'd prefer to just forget that it happened.
Yeah, because I really liked Assault.
Assault was fantastic.
Yeah, but then
breaking the rule that Star Fox games are terrible.
and then Command just kind of like tanked the whole thing. I think she has potential. Okay, number 4, Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Yay!
Everyone loves them.
I need more time.
Did we all have one from Ark's list?
Yes.
Jay did. Jay didn't have one from your list.
Yeah, you're right.
So I hear Banjo and Kazooie Wander, but I wonder if you mean ukulele.
I don't mean
ukulele. No, we mean Banjo-Kazooie. Everyone wants it. The head of Xbox wants it. It's basically one of those things that if Nintendo wants it to happen, they could easily make it happen.
Do you think it was a statement when they decided to add a character who was a dog with a bird on his back?
I could see the Final Smash just being like that gold feather charge, where they just then they would just be supersonic. But whatever.
So my number 3, another more obscure one, but my love for this franchise is well documented. It's Custom Robo, Ray.
Wasn't Ray a assist trophy at some point, or am I thinking of it?
Yeah, I think he still is. Oh wait, did they take him out?
Yeah, he's not in the most recent one.
Yeah, it was assist in Brawl, but Smash 4 contains no references to Custom Robo.
That's
not looking good. It scares me. Like there hasn't been a game in that franchise for like a decade. Really fun. It'd be cool to have a projectile character who's maybe more quick moving and aerial focused.
I would like it. I would think it's cool.
I would think it's cool if they bring back custom moves. It's
I was gonna say. I would think Custom Robo would be cool if they utilized the custom system, and you had to like pre-build them a la a Mii fighter.
Yeah.
So like everybody would have all access to all the moves right away. You would have to choose which up B, side B, standard B, and down B you preferred using, and then that would be like saved as your standard.
I think just because custom is in the name, bringing customization into this character would be fantastic. But number 2 is my girl Shantae. Really fun games. I love them. She's a really cool character with lots of like interesting abilities, especially in her transformations.
Yeah, doesn't she have like a lot of animal transformations, like an elephant and stuff?
Monkey.
Yeah, so the core mechanic of the series is that she can transform into different animals, like a monkey, elephant. Depending on the game, they might be a harpy or a crab or a mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually one game that didn't have transformations at all.
Pirate's Curse.
Yeah, it was Pirate's Curse, where she had like a bunch of pirate-themed abilities, like a cannon. But
That's
I think
neato.
to represent this character, you would have to have the transforming element. Yeah, my number 1. Another series that maybe not quite at what it used to be, but my love for it is very well documented.
Oh.
Simon Belmont from Castlevania.
Yeah.
God, like this
I'm getting a lot of love.
This is one of those just classic Nintendo era franchises, like right alongside Mario and Mega Man.
Now,
See-
is your decision to put him on the list at all related to getting the Captain N gang back together?
Shut up.
See, I would like Simon Belmont to be in the game. My only problem is I'm trying to wonder if they would pull from newer games, since didn't the Castlevania franchise sort of extend beyond Nintendo eventually?
Yeah, it was like the first 4 games were all Nintendo. Then it was on PlayStation for a while with like Symphony of the Night. And then it actually came back to Nintendo handhelds for a while with like Portrait of Ruin and Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah.
And then there was the one on Netflix.
Which is based on Castlevania 3.
Well,
Yeah,
it's got Trevor Belmont. So
Yeah.
do you think he might get in instead of Simon?
Trevor, maybe.
I
could
think
maybe
Simon
Trevor.
Belmont is too iconic for
Yeah.
him to be
He's at
passed
the
up.
mark.
Yeah, if they were going to pick a Castlevania character, I think it would have to be Simon Belmont. And if we don't have a Captain N reskin for him as one of the costumes, then Riot.
Princess.
All right. Well, I guess that just leaves me. So, as I said, I got nothing. Now, going forward, I have some new out of left field picks that, you know, I thought should be mentioned. Agent 007 is going to need to be in there. Thank you very much. I need him. We've been talking about him since the N64 era, and I think that it is finally time.
Pierce Brosnan, of course.
Yep. Second up is going to be Travis Touchdown. That's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go for that. That's going to happen. Dark Souls Man.
Dark Souls
Perfect.
Man!
Dark
Onion
Souls
Man?
Man.
Onion
Dark
Man?
It does-
Soulsman.
Whatever character came to mind when I said that's the one I'm going for.
Dark K. Soulsman.
My number 2 most wanted character for Super Smash Brothers is my sister Hannah. She would make a wonderful addition to the team, I think. Also Goku. Goku's my number 1. I'm gonna need. If we can get these guys in there sooner rather than later, I'm fine.
Did this recording just get super parody all of a sudden? I don't...
Yeah.
For
Yes.
curiosity's sake, what were your original top 5?
Ridley, K. Rool, Medusa, Wolf, and Guzma. You guys named all of them.
Wait, did we name K. Rool?
I don't think anyone said K.
Did nobody say K?
I didn't.
Nobody
I
say
didn't
K. Rool?
expressly
Okay.
say K. Rool. I definitely heavily implied K. Rool.
I guess I did say that I was gonna go more into Ridley. What do I even say about Ridley?
He's big.
He's very big. I don't consider that to be a problem. There's a lot of reason to think that he'll make it in. There's a lot of reason to think that he won't make it in. But I don't know. I just want him considered.
Who's to say? Sakurai, that too.
No, okay, no, I'm not. I will not accept, even out of Sakurai's tender lips, that it can't be done because
Yeah.
things change, thoughts get taken out of context.
Would
and
you
sometimes
accept out of Sakurai's sweet lips that it won't be done?
no matter what he says, I'm still gonna think it's possible that Ridley could get into Smash someday.
But yeah, that was. Sorry. If I had known that my picks were all gonna be on everybody else's, I would have thought elsewhere.
Well, that's the risk you run going last.
Yeah, you're right.
You
Why
have
do you think?
like,
Why do you
what,
think I offered to so generously go first?
30 other
I
characters.
definitely understand the love for Ridley.
All right, this was a fun discussion. I like this one.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything else that they'd like out of this list? Like some runners up, perhaps?
Shovel Knight.
Do we want Shovel Knight?
I would be
Uh,
okay with Shovel Knight. I would.
I'm
I think if
a
I
little
saw.
tired of Shovel Knight.
I think if I saw the Smash reveal trailer for Shovel Knight, I would probably give like a hearty. All right.
Yeah. I just feel like I've seen enough Shovel Knight now. I've seen enough of it.
when we did the Smash Ballot videos, however long ago that was, we talked in detail about Shovel Knight and Shantae as 2 possible characters, and the consensus we came up with was that Shovel Knight was very big for the now, and that was when the video was recorded. But Shantae has been around for over a decade and is the more timeless of the indie characters.
Cool.
Sans for Smash. Under
Excellent.
Sans.
Right next to Agent 007. It's gonna happen.
And Crash Bandicoot.
All 3 games are now on the Switch.
You know, it's never been more likely that Crash Bandicoot could get into Smash than now, when he is finally getting ported over.
We successfully
Unless
talked
he's-
about every single character who could ever get into Super Smash Brothers, and we can retire
Yeah.
the series now.
Yeah, we're done.
But great, nice work.
I wanted to take it upon myself, at least for now, to curate the comments and questions that we get via wherever people send in questions.
People
In a similar fashion to our old quick replies that we did back on the blog days. Since there's still so much mystery about what we can expect from this series at the time we're recording this, and we have not even published anything yet, so we don't have any questions sent in. I prepared just a few fake fan-submitted questions to practice with.
Oh, okay.
So, are you guys ready for some fake quick replies?
Never been more ready. in
This
my
one comes
life.
from
Let's do it.
Abdi LaRoute.
Now, this question was submitted by BJ Steve 23, and he says, "Do you think?"
Oh yes, from our Steven Universe streams. Quite the fan.
No, it's a real fake man, and he says, "Do you think Snipperclips will be a playable character?"
No.
Stage.
Stage.
No, and I could never be more ready to say no in my life.
Yeah. So I love that.
They
You're
just-
gonna
they just
crush
run-
Steve's heart like that?
So yeah, I love Snipper Clips. I've been having a lot of fun with it, but I definitely think it would. I think it would be a great stage.
Yeah,
where
right.
things are being
Yeah.
cut out around you, and like the platforms are changing.
The music was written by Bo N, and that's an artist I really like. So I'd like to see. A
Oh,
song
actually, I
from
like
him.
them too.
I don't
That's
know
nice.
them.
I like My Time. That's a good song.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I'm geeking out. I'm gonna use that in the audio version of the CATV comics. This next question was submitted by F. Shane, and she or he asks.
Like EFF?
The question is, do you think it'd be possible for a human character from Pokemon to appear as an assist trophy? Which we actually talked about in this video.
Oh.
Look,
did.
I think the most likely character, trainer to show up from a Pokemon game in the Super Smash Bros. Franchise, and I don't think I'm bloviating when I pull this out in front of us all today,
Jesse and James.
is N. I'm just gonna lay it out there.
I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you. I hate
No, my answer is no.
I think the one human that might be able to get into the assist trophy is Todd Snap.
He just leisurely rides by in his little cart, and you have to dodge him, which is painfully easy.
His
Solar
terrifying
flare,
F-Zero
click.
neck.
At the end of his stage, at the end of the match that he shows up in, you actually get to see snapshots from the match that you just played, while Professor Oak just says, "Excellent."
And it plays the super upbeat song. Da-da-da-dun-dun-dun-dun.
This next question was submitted by Lambrance07, and they say, I have an idea for a 1-2 switch stage that functions like WarioWare Inc. Will you please validate my idea publicly?
Can we
Actually, I like that.
Can we dox Lambrance and send like a SWAT team to his house? Yeah, I can see a 1-2 switch stage coming out, and it's gonna be DLC only, and you have to pay $60 for it, and
And it gets their characters covered in milk.
I think that a 1-2 stage like a WarioWare thing would be very likely. I think I could totally see that happening. In fact, it could practically replace it. I wouldn't want that because then WarioWare would be out of a stage. But they could do something else with that. Jay, they need to include Plate Spinner in that if that ever happens.
Oh, so people can get punched in the nose?
You didn't get punched in the nose.
I
You did
did.
not get punched in the nose. No, you did not.
was on
You did
camera.
not.
I've got one more question here, and this one was submitted to us by #1 Gamersaps hater USA,
Cool.
who would like to know, is Snake coming back? There's no
Without
more
Snake.
Kojima involved with Snake, so I think
Right.
that even puts him further into jeopardy. I'm gonna say that no, he can't
Right.
really come back.
I think
Exactly.
since Smash Wii U came out, Konami has had a tiny slice of humble pie. Like they did release a Bomberman game, so that's
Great.
something.
And we'll get a Pachinko machine as a representative.
So if you would like to submit a question to us, I have literally no idea where you should put it yet. I don't know.
Put it in the comments, or do send us a message on Tumblr. You can
Yeah.
you can contact us any number of ways.
Scream into the void, and we will hear you. And we'll try to get
Exactly.
your question on the show if we think it's viable.
And thank you for doing that.
And if you're
That'd be great.
streaming
We're
this
looking forward
from the Dead Zone, let me know.
And
I'll
we'll be
bring it.
we'll be nicer to you than we were to our imaginary questionnaires.
Well, you gave us bullshit questions. Alrighty, well, I think that's gonna be about it. Thank you all very much for watching. We hope that you've enjoyed the show and look forward to the next one. Alright. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.